You get a rock to your port, to your starboard.
Thank you.
Where something in the bottom center.
Oh.
Repositioning.
That looks like the potential
And go ahead and
white
put our final 20
biomat.
meter in there if you guys want. That'll end up taking us to that spot they want to see. Bridge nav. Can I get 20 meters at 180 at 0.2 knots, please?
See the rock behind you?
Yeah.
Watch the BSR.
Good copy.
We'll get there. There's no rush on.
I wonder what that white stuff is.
Yeah, wash leads is what we're trying to get closer to.
Perfect, thank you.
Taking me.
Copy that. Video, do you want to come in briefly?
So just over the past
I
few
can
minutes,
snap
we've seen a
zoom on
real
it if you
change
like.
in the pillows,
Hey,
in that
co-pilot,
there's
do
a
you want
lot
me to
less of
change
that
your
hydrothermal sediment
sonar and
that we
D2?
had seen
Or
before.
still keep it at 80?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we keep it at 80 nav.
Okay.
One more zoom.
Looks like broken.
Yeah. Briefly, video.
I see a shrimp in the bottom corner. It's like a tube that's been broken open.
So this looks more like that staining that we saw along the fractures on some of the rocks, and not of microbial origin.
Tugging me.
We spent the whole day looking
Full
to
wide?
see if there were any
Yeah, full wide, please, video.
white mats. It's indicative
From
of
the port?
microbial mats.
Yeah, I'm lateraling
in
port.
diffuse flow situations. You normally see some white mats. We haven't seen any. The few things that we've seen that are white tend to look more like either mineral deposits or some kind of staining. We have encountered one patch of diffuse flow, which had a nice little shrimp living inside of it. So I've noticed in the event log that I think the only people who are, or most of the people who are still logged on, just happen to be geologists. I'm surprised. You're not surprised, Eva? I'm surprised.
Yeah, I think I'm actually quite surprised.
So Deb, this is Bill. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, you sound really good. Hi, Bruce. Bruce is still on the line. He's waiting for a fish.
Oh, Bruce.
So it looks like there's a lot less evidence for hydrothermal venting here, so I don't know how far we've come south from the top of the mound, but I'm thinking we could probably jump to the other mound if you want.
Excellent. I will ask our navigators. Nav, when you have a moment.
Go ahead.
We think we've seen enough here, and we'd like to start heading, I think, to waypoint 3.
Copy that. We are just about to do a shift change, but we'll get that underway.
Or
Bill, do we want to go to waypoint 3 or do you want to go down to the
waypoint
saddle?
3
Like, do you want to go below waypoint 3?
Sort of on the. Yeah. So waypoint 3 is on the top of the mountain, so we should go down before that, so we can go up to waypoint 3.
Okay, so they're moving around the cursor on the high pack right now. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Does that look good? Or would you prefer to be a little bit more orthogonal to the slope?
I was thinking going directly between the top of this mound and the next mound, so and maybe going down in the saddle in between them.
Okay, I think we can do that. And then we'll just sort of move up that. Do you definitely hit waypoint 3 or do you want to go up to that local high?
I think waypoint 3 is on the top of that high, isn't it?
Not on the high pack, but that doesn't mean anything.
Oh, I see. I see it on the high pack now. I didn't know the waypoints were on there.
Yep.
Yeah, let's aim for the local high.
Okay, so we'll fly over to the saddle, drop there, and then drive upwards to the local high, wherever it may be.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay, great. I'll pass that on.
Okay, so watch lead. Are you talking about right here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, so for the geologists and Bruce, we're going to do a little bit of flying over to saddle that is between these two mounds, and then we will try to drive up the slope to the last mound that's south of the saddle.
All right, Nav. Let's get caught up on what's happening here. So where are we headed? To new waypoint 3?
New waypoint 3 is roughly 150 from your current location.
Okay.
So does that all look downhill to you?
Mostly.
Can you point 150? Not too.
Oh yeah, I was just looking that way. Sorry. And Sirius is at 225. Okay.
Yeah, and you are currently moving 180.
Turning with you.
Look at that. You can just keep me centered in view for now. I'm just gonna look at 150.
Okay.
Pick up here. There's 150.
Okay.
You want me to stretch out that way, see what we got?
Yeah, why don't you, just in case.
All right.
We'll get as far a look as we can before we jump off.
Sounds good. I'll head over that way, keeping interestingness in view. And now you can follow me to 150 as I head over this way.
Copy.
Go pilot.
Navigator, do we have any moves that are going to be that we expect, or?
So as we
Yeah,
move
delay.
along this
Yes,
pillow slope,
you should be moving to the south right now still.
we're going to be moving
Okay.
along to the south. We will likely jump off into blue water for a little bit. When
Actually, let me stop. Let me pull the ship to a stop on its current move now.
Where are you headed now?
We're at 180, so it's not that big a departure.
Okay.
But bridge nav.
but
Can we
before
stop the
jump
current
off
move,
into
please?
blue water, let's just enjoy our pillow flows.
Oh, look at this. Is this what you've been looking at
This
all
is what
day?
we've been looking at all day. It's
Wow.
been great.
It wasn't the same on my TV in my room. It was nowhere near this cool looking.
Oh, it's fantastic. And what you're seeing So we have, sorry,
This is
those of you who
glass,
are
isn't
watching
it?
from home or shore-based scientists,
Yeah.
we just had an ROV watch change, so we're chatting with the pilots a little bit. That's all glass, and so that
Yeah.
reflectivity that you're seeing is glass.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Awesome.
So even when the pilots aren't on the sticks, many of
All
them
right,
are
looks
actually in their
pretty-
rooms watching.
Looks pretty
The
like
dive
you are dropping
progress.
off that direction. So,
Yeah.
You at 150 yet, co-pilot?
151.
151. All right. I'm going to turn about here and see what's out ahead.
And so Bruce Mundy, who's one of our fish biologists, who's at Hawaii, said that, interestingly enough, this is the first dive that he's ever seen where we haven't seen a new coral or a sponge. But he rightly notes that it's not really surprising. We're looking
right.
at very, very young flows. These
There's
really
one
haven't
scan,
been colonized by
thin.
anything yet. So it's been a
Continuing.
very kind of
Yeah,
low
there we
biota
go.
dive.
There's 150
We've seen
lined
some
up.
shrimp. We've seen some
Serial
polychaete
range
worms.
is 80 meters.
We've seen a couple
Okay.
of squat lobsters.
230.
And I think that's just
So
about
we've
it.
got half a tether length plus 30 of nothing in sonar.
all right. So,
At depth of 4,000 meters,
We
or
need-
3990.
So while,
yep.
while
So
our
we're going to drop down
biologists
about
and
50
crabbers
meters,
may not have
according
had the
to
best day,
high pack, which
people
we
who
know
are
is
interested
there's
in
lots of
geology
spiry
have
things
been
out here
having
that aren't on high pack.
fantastic and wonderful dive.
Yep.
And we want to move about 200 meters
Okay.
in this direction. So,
200.
200.
All right. How
We're
fast do
in
you
about
want to
the
go?
last hour of our dive.
I was thinking
We are
0.3,
here on a
but
back
I
spreading
can be
center.
talked lower or
examining
higher
fresh
as
it's-
your
young
comfort
I think
level.
flows.
0.3 is about as
These
fast as
flows
you can
are
push, and Sirius
2
will
years
keep up.
old at
If you do a
most.
half knot, Sirius will just do 0.3 and
we're
get there
at
in the same amount of
depth
time.
39.90,
Sounds good.
So
almost
0.3 is fine.
4,000
Do you
meters.
want to do it all blue water,
Pretty
hop
deep.
over and drop down? Do you want to try to keep this in view? Did you get a pass off message? I didn't really
I'm
get
sure
a
they
pass
would
off.
love to stay in view, but I think they were expecting a hop, and we'd have to go so slow to keep it in view. I would suspect we want to hop blue water.
Yeah, can we go as fast as possible?
Yep. We'll
That's,
do 3
that's
tenths.
definitely the priority now.
Okay.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
You ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, everyone, say goodbye
Nav.
to your basalts.
200 meters, 150 degrees,
Sorry.
0.3 knots,
That's
please.
fine. I can come down a little bit.
You're fine. I'll come up a touch.
That's correct. Thank you.
So, Nav,
Push up here.
Go ahead.
about how long will it take to jump to that point?
If we're quick about it, we can do it in probably. Let me double check my math in my head. We can be down and ready for science ops, and no, it's wait, we're so deep. Probably 30 to 45 minutes, in all honesty, because we got to wait for the move to translate down. It's 22 minutes. It's 22 minutes of actual travel time, but we're going to wait probably 15 to 20 minutes before we start moving.
Well,
So it's going to take a bit.
and then how much time will we have left to try to ascend the slope and get up to the top?
Thank you, Bridge. Yep, we will make it as we will expedite as much as we can.
Okay.
Well, for now. So ship's underway?
Ship is underway.
All right. When you see Sirius start moving, we'll jump off and go. I'm going to
Might as well, yeah.
keep this in view for now. See if we can see anything interesting. It's a lot of the same, I guess, huh?
No, everything is unique.
But do remember, pilots, that you've got a 180 move still in swing.
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, we're just going to, right now, we're going to stay around here checking out the different pillow
Do
flows.
you like where
that
your
we can
lights
look
are at, pilot?
While
Yeah,
the
it's
ship
fine.
is making a move,
Okay.
and
I
then
just
once
see your
the ship starts getting into position,
one of your upper lights.
the ROV will follow.
If you want to deploy them, I'm happy to have them out.
Either way. I'm going to try to leave my Zeus where it's at so I know when I'm moving.
Roger that. Just putsy over this way. This weird looking ooze right here. That's so cool. It's like an elephant or something.
While we wait, look at that really weird little pillow. Just kind of
Yeah.
looked like he tried to jump out into space. So we still see some of that iron precipitation. We see a few of those little rusticles that we saw early in the dive. Definitely still seeing the glassy basalts.
The personification of pillow lava. To write a book. Someone should write
Look
a
at that
book.
one.
It's
How
like
cool is that?
It's like the name
It's
of
like
a book.
it got squeezed out from the middle of that pillow and just drooped downwards. Ew.
Very scientific comment.
I think it's awesome.
You know, watching.
Toothpaste. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah,
Great.
watching. I've seen never seen it flying or piloting, but I've seen on TV sometimes when lava's flowing, and you can sort of. It's the first time I've really seen flows that look a lot like what they show on TV.
Yeah. I mean, these
This
are really
particular
great looking pillow
wrinkly
lavas.
looking one.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And look at that! Look at those lines. Oh, I'm sure you guys have been looking at this all day, but this is so cool.
It really is. Actually, you know, I will ask a question because I'm not sure we know the answer to this. Are we here long enough to sample something? Not that I'm sure there's anything to actually sample, but or will we get pulled off?
Looks like I'm starting to move.
We're starting to move at this point. We're at
Okay.
3/10, so it'd be off pretty quick.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
If
ship's
you had
30
asked me
minutes in.
15 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, I definitely could have.
Yeah, but that would have required me thinking about it then.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't think of it either. Nothing's really loose, though.
No, nothing is loose
Yeah,
on
but
this.
Bill, I was thinking
This stuff
our
breaks, though.
last rock sample would be good to take at the-
Navigator, I'm probably
at the
gonna
next
swing, what,
round,
25
and then we'll
meters?
get to it.
Okay, sounds great, Bill. Just figured I'd
what do you-
ask.
which direction? What are you talking about?
From the move that I'm moving right
The
now.
route that was
Your
already-
audio
Yeah,
got
the one you
echoey,
stopped.
just
The one
in
I
last
stopped,
few minutes.
if I'm reading Andy's
I may have
notes
moved the mic
right,
too far away from myself. Is that
I
better?
would say you've probably got.
Could you? What if you measure between these two black
I
dots?
think so, or
I think that's how
I don't
far
know,
the ship
getting
would have moved.
feedback
Yeah.
from somewhere else or something, but
Okay, 22.
Anyway.
23.
All right.
Not too bad.
I
Okay,
guess
thanks for letting me know.
Guess I'll push off. Are we headed?
So this is the move that he called in to stop.
We're still feeling it.
Yeah, I don't.
So
I don't. Think
I'm only going to swing like 22 feet, meters, 22 meters.
We may have a little
It's a
more
fair
than
amount.
that. They had a 244 20-meter move and a 254 20-meter move.
We'll come down.
So
Pilot.
I think we're gonna jump in the blue water, or you can. Yeah, you've got the altitude if you want to come down.
Just a little bit.
Just keep a keen eye on sonar.
Yeah.
So I think this
That flips
begins
me.
our
Yep.
hop into blue water. Oh, there's the bottom again. Never mind.
Yeah, watch lead. So I'm gonna do. As long as we've got the ship moving along here, I'm gonna do some dancing of checking out what's on the bottom and then
Perfect.
looking ahead with my sonar to make sure. Just because we're not moving along fast enough for me to just jump in blue water and run away necessarily.
Okay.
So if it turns out I have to do that, I will. But as long as I can keep an eye on the bottom, then I will.
Fantastic.
So I want to keep it interesting.
Yep. And if you look on either side of this particular view that we have, you'll see that there's a few places where that looked like the pillow collapsed, and there was another extra little flow that came down. Like on the right side of the screen right now.
I don't see it. I'll head over.
I think she's referring to the difference between the glassy and the non-glassy.
Over here?
Yep. See how that part is a little bit more
Oh,
droopy?
yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
I think an intro volcanology class would have had a fantastic day here.
Is this textbook?
This is past textbook. We've seen an amazing variety of forms.
Makes me want to go hiking.
you're kind of telehiking now.
Yeah, it's true.
Telehiking.
And I get to sit in a chair.
So our shore-based scientists, now is a wonderful time to give a lecture on pillow basalts, if anybody would like to.
All right, ship is
We got
60
lots of
meters
time.
into this move, and I feel like Sirius has stopped moving from its southerly movement,
Yep.
but I haven't seen this move start yet.
Okay. I'll stay in view, and
Nobody wants to give a lecture on pillow basalts.
looks like I got to pick up and run. I will.
Ooh, nice crack.
Yeah, there's a broken
I'll,
piece.
take a stab that it's probably the most common rock type on Earth, considering that so much of the seafloors are made out of it. But still lavas form, we think, at relatively low eruption rates. So there's lots of them on slow-spreading ridges where the eruption rates are relatively low most of the time, and fewer of them on fast-spreading ridges where the eruption rate is higher most of the time. So when they erupt, they
Got a
pile
little
up,
more if you
so
want to
they
come
form
down with me.
these mounds
Copy that.
that we've been going over, because they can't. There's a limited distance that they can flow from the eruption event before they solidify. And they're always in these tubes. So flows that travel farther have to be sheet flows so they can spread out and be more like a river flowing under a crust. So I always picture a pillow mound as kind of a stack of bowling balls all stacked on top of each other, and individual pillows can only go so far before they solidify. So that's why these things are so steep-sided.
All right, Sirius is
Awesome.
beginning to
Thanks,
pick up
Bill.
some direction, 150 movement on high pack.
Awesome. That sounds good. Just keep on moseying.
And actually, I think so far along the dives that we've had here previously on this expedition, this has also been the form we've seen most commonly when we've seen well-shaped basalt. We haven't seen a ton of ropey flow, although we've seen a few outcrops of it. We've seen very little sheet flow. We have, however, seen a couple of dikes, so we've seen some nice dike features with columnar jointing and fractures. But by and large, when we've seen this, we've seen the pillows.
From our mapping, it appears that most of the
Got a little bump behind me.
form these pillow mound
Pick up.
ridges. For example, the
Here.
dive site we're going to do tomorrow also has a lot of these pillow mounds, won't be as young, but similar topography. But the dive we do on Sunday, so the day after tomorrow, is
See,
one
it's
of those
flattening out.
places in
Now
the
we can look at
backyard
the bottom
where
this
there
way.
are a lot of sheep. So we'll see a different kind of sheep flow.
Sweet.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can go uphill for a
So-
little bit.
Yeah, I see that.
You should come up with me. Looking good now, just keep an eye on it.
Copy. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to move, I think.
Yep.
Super.
So you were cutting in and out a little bit for us here, but what I think I heard you say was that for tomorrow's dive at one of the new hydrothermal vent targets, that one will probably be mostly a pillow morphology based on the high-resolution autonomous vehicle survey data that you have gotten.
Another little
But,
bump.
oh, look at this. It's like a little vent, a little
We're going
eruptive
uphill
vent.
right now, so this is
How did we go? Where are we going?
We're
How did
heading
we go
150,
uphill?
and we found a little uphill portion.
Hey, Bill. Geologists in general, we found
Might
a
want to
little
look
uphill
around
section.
for the white shrimp in this area zone.
You what?
Might want to look
Yeah.
around for the white shrimp in this zone, indicating the actual
And then
flow
finishing
site.
my thought from Bill, what I think I heard you say was that the second hydrothermal vent field target that we were going to be going to is more likely to have sheet flows. This is really
correct.
Pull up a little bit.
Thanks.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
all
really
right.
neat. This is
You're good.
quite a little construction feature. And as we were talking about earlier, these pillow basalts are often likened to squeezing out a tube of toothpaste, because they sort of travel in these tubes and then they push out through a piece of the tube. They might collapse the tube and then they'll squeeze out in another direction. We're back in the hydrothermal sediment.
Yeah, look at
So a
some
little vent feature.
Pilot, can we zoom into the cracks between those rocks with the brightest yellow? Just to
What's
see
that?
if we- Can we zoom into the cracks of the area of the brightest yellow? There may be thermal flow coming from directly beneath us.
Sure. Like over here, you mean?
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend sitting down, but just zoom in from this.
No, I won't.
location.
Yeah, I won't sit down. It's glass. Come on in. Hold there just for a second. Let me get settled a little. Okay, you can go a little further if you'd like. And I'll pick up. I'll look around in here, see if we see any shimmering. Like there.
Not seeing anything.
Cool.
Not seeing anything via window.
All right. Thanks. Oh, did you see that slope?
So, pilots, do you have a
Look at that
moment
one.
for a comment from the shore-based science?
Sure.
So they wanted to let you know from your telehiking discussion that this terrain would probably be pretty hard to hike on because the crusts on the newer glassy pillow tubes are pretty thin. So
Oh, yeah.
on Kilauea, it'd be really, really hard. The saying goes that either you wear gloves on your hands
that rough
or
section?
bandages because you tend to fall through the surface, put your hands out to catch yourself, and then you get cut up because this is all glass.
coming up a little bit. Do you want me to turn to see you?
So you should be pretty
Oh,
happy
sure,
that you're in
yeah,
your
you can
chair,
keep me-
basically.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be in my chair at this point.
Can we look into the dark hole? Then go up to the square
I was
lobster?
going to go up to the right side there and look, but in here where it seems to have a lot of yellow, you want to peek in there?
Yes.
Go ahead. Who do we
Another
have?
squat lobster playing king of the mountain.
They really like that top part of the pillow mound. Actually, can you pan up from here?
Yeah, of course. Coming up. For what are you looking for?
It's this texture of this pillow.
Oh, this part up
Yeah,
here?
which actually looks like we saw this earlier in the dive.
Oh, you got little
We
tubes
thought
in
maybe
your...
these were like steam pockets, I believe.
Partial.
Thanks. Backing. Sorry, Roland.
And Patty, thanks for passing that on about hiking on Kilauea.
Alright, I'll just mosey over to the squat lobster here real quick. You can take a little more if you want. Oops. Sorry about that.
Perfect, thank you.
What is that biology doing all over your geology?
And you can just see that fresh glass poking out from the hydrothermal staining.
Alright, I should continue on.
Pulling
Please
out.
do.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you.
Thanks. Okay, and it's a steep drop off down that way, so I might just jump
crack.
out and see what I see on my sonar before we get too caught up here.
So this might have been a local area where there was
Side over right, get out in front of
volcanism,
you.
a little
See
eruptive
what's
vent.
on sonar. I'm lighting up the bottom over there still.
I'm turning with you.
Thanks. Yeah, there's some bottom. I can't tell if it's sloping up or down. It looks down sloped down there. Alright, looking ahead, see if there's any blips. Got a couple of blips.
And Patty Fryer from
nope,
the University of
that's my
Hawaii has
manipulator.
mentioned that these are probably fairly, this magma probably
Maybe
has
something
a
off
lot of
that
gas
side,
in it.
but not much.
So these lavas
How's
create
your
lots of
altitude?
gas
25.
bubbles
You want to come down with me a little bit?
before they harden.
See if we can find something interesting down lower.
Yeah, there is consistent return about 45 degrees off your port,
Yeah.
15 meters out.
Okay, I don't have the space to push that way, but
Nope.
there's some stuff. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so we're back at the bottom. And can mosey along. So this is the bottom of that peak we saw. You can see more yellow.
Yep,
Dust.
so you can still see some hydrothermal sediment,
I'll
hydrothermal staining,
spin
but
around
not a
real
lot.
quick this direction and see what I see. Not winding my tether out. Whee. Let's see what's over this way. Sorry, Roland. I'll bring it back.
I got nothing for you.
Yeah, I just was looking off in this direction. Oh. Generally, uphill is, yeah, something like 225 at the moment. So, maybe even south. Okay. Alright, we're going to push off in the blue water and see what we can find. Got a little tether space now. See if we get a return on our sonar.
Alright, ship's only got about 25 meters left in the move.
Okay. All
So
right.
for those of you who might just be joining in,
Pushed out pretty
we
far
are
here.
currently
And
going to do a little hop over to a
the
saddle
ship's almost
between
there.
two
We've
pillow
got another,
mounds.
how far? 60,
We're going to try to
70, 90
investigate
meters?
the third pillow mound before we need to
Wow,
come
100
off
plus.
the seafloor.
100 plus. Okay. Was your last move towards or to waypoint 3?
It was to new waypoint 3 from your position.
Okay,
So,
so
you
you
should land
took the whole-
somewhere right on top of it.
Okay, so you took the whole gap. That's what I was asking.
Yes, took the
Right.
whole move in one fell swoop.
My altitude's 15, yours is 26. Let's drop
Come down.
down a little bit. See what we can see on sonar. Drop to your altitudes around. 20 or so, I guess. 15 or 20.
Okay.
You're going to be uphill from me, so I'm not going to be able to see a whole lot. It's pretty steep. But hopefully I can spin again and see what we've got.
About 19 stopped.
Copy that. Alright, I'm going to swing and face, see if we see anything interesting.
Oh, let's go check out some more bottom.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll just glance when we can and zoom when we can't. But
Great.
Here's something over here, so I'm going to take a look quick.
Yeah, we like to zoom in on anything white. While we think that it's really likely, at least it has been so far, to really just be some hydrothermal staining, hydrothermal alteration
Yeah.
of the rock,
Coming down a little
But
bit.
it could
there's
be.
always the hope that it might be a microbial mat.
Ah, okay. You can come in partial.
But based on what we've seen, yeah, this is just more, it's just hydrothermal staining.
Looks like a broken piece of something. Okay. A little polykeet guy, and there's a light section over this way, so we'll back up around to that.
Okay.
Push up.
And I know you guys haven't personally necessarily seen it, but we've imaged about 1.5 billion polykeets today.
Yeah. Okay. So this is probably still not staining. Or this is probably still not
stained. Yeah, it's stained. It's
mat.
not microbial. Yep.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Roland.
But that doesn't stop it from being awesome looking.
Keep moseying around here.
Sounds just like what a geologist would say.
Back up some.
I think I can speak for all the geologists on
Don't
the
take
line
a
when
snap
I
into
say
that yellow section
we're really
upper
enjoying
left.
ourselves today.
It's
Upper left.
That's straight above lasers now.
Yeah.
In fact,
I'm
I know I can
trying
speak
to
for all
back
of them
back in front of
because they're
Sirius.
still
Take
here.
it from here, you want?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead. Is that the one?
the upper one.
Oh, the upper one? Yeah.
It's 'cause it sort of looks like a tunnel and it's very concentrated. Checking for flow.
Push up some, sorry.
Not seeing any.
Alright, Sirius is getting on top of me. I'm gonna push on. Thanks.
Thank you, Bridge. Ship stopped.
Thanks. Alright, we're gonna turn here and see what we can get on sonar. And push 150.
You guys should be about halfway through your move. If I'm
Okay.
Roger that. There's some uphilliness over this way. Ooh, here's some really shiny, bubbly glass.
Let's go look at it if we can.
Can't stay long.
That's okay.
But we can
A quick pass.
take a pass. You can come in partial video as I fly by.
And one of the things to note in this area is that these pillows are probably all pretty much the same age. It's just these little skinnier ones are probably just a little bit more glassy.
Gotcha.
They quenched a little bit faster. And then
yeah. Huh.
But you can even still see the glass on some of the bigger striated ones.
Right, like that one in the back.
Yep, exactly.
That's
And
cool.
so we've picked up 2 samples today so far. We're hoping to potentially grab a third at the last pillow mound if we have some time. And the first one we picked up was a small little pillow extrusion that I'd call a little pillow toe. And it looked like it was pretty glassy. And the hope is that when we get it back, it's almost all glass. That would be great.
All right, Roland.
The other piece we picked up, we originally thought was explosive, like pillow fragments from.
Beautiful
But it
line.
may have just been
Thanks.
that they fell off a wall. But that side, it also looked like it had
There's
one side
scan
that was
with
quite
the sonar
glassy
off at 150.
before
So
we looked at
we've
the
got-
interior of the pillow.
All right, there's 150. Let's give it a scan. Not a whole lot. Altitude 7. I'm going to drop a little. You can come with me if you've got it.
Yeah.
Which section are we going up once we get to 8.3? I'll keep going towards the 150 direction. Okay.
Probably more due south.
Or
But
due south. Copy.
Stopping at 16.
Copy. Yeah, this is a real steep section, huh?
Copy, yeah.
If I turn around, we should be able to see something.
I can come down a little bit now.
You're okay where you are, I think. Rise up. Take a look at my cameras. Oh yeah, there's nothing there. I caught a glimpse of what I thought was something.
And Bill
There's the
Chadwick
really
also
glassy
knows
stuff.
that
That's
with
cool.
those bigger pillows, they're getting kind of raked as the lava extrudes through the tube. It sort of catches on the already
is
hardened
cool,
part,
huh?
so it sort of
Yeah.
makes it look less smooth and shiny because it's got a bunch of scratches on it. This is great. And all the volcanologists right now are thinking, why weren't we here in the last 2 years when it was actually erupting? That's
Yeah.
what we want to see. I'm getting emails that say, don't you wish you were here? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Coming down a little bit.
Thanks. Let me know when I gotta run.
Okay.
Ooh, this looks shimmery. More than just shiny shimmery. Isn't it? Video, you want to come in partial? Trying to discern if this is just shiny shimmery or event shimmery.
The back row doesn't see anything, but
Okay.
we're much further away. So
Oh, sorry, it was a video swap out. Alright, video, you can start in, if you don't mind. Just take a quick look. I don't have a lot of time, but my eyes are playing tricks.
that's okay. A nice zoom in on some beautiful, fresh, glassy lava is okay too.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. We'll race on.
Yeah.
I just want to take this whole mound home.
Where would you put it?
Home or to the research lab?
You've got a point.
It's very pretty.
So, Deb, do you have a sense of, if we were here when it was being formed, would we see like a few pillows being formed at a time, or would this entire mound be pillows being formed simultaneously?
Engulfed.
That's a good question, and I'm going to direct it at Bill because he was talking about the low, sort of slow forming pillows, but I'm going to ask Bill that question.
I've got a little something
So,
off in this direction.
Bill, I don't know if you heard Brian, our navigator, or
Got
not.
some uphill
He
over
wanted
here,
to know
maybe.
would these pillows be sort of forming one at a time, or would you be seeing the whole mound kind of slowly erupting at once?
Scan. Be consistent. Off
Good
it ran.
question. We don't have many observations of pillows forming. The divers have filmed solar lavas forming off of the island of Hawaii when lava's erupted on land and flows into the ocean.
Alright, I'm 25 up. You're 30. You want to drop with me, maybe?
Sure. Coming down.
Pillows forming
You're getting close enough on high pack, you might be starting to see the next mound
the
come
West
up.
Mata
Okay, what
volcano,
depth are we looking at for the mound?
between Samoa and the Southwest Pacific.
The swing should be slowing.
Yeah, you should be slowing. We're somewhere in the area of, actually, what are these?
Those are 10 meters, so 40 or 40, 50?
Yeah, they are 10 meters. So yeah, you should be 40, 40, 40, 30.
Okay. So that's right about where we are.
Plus or minus 1% of water depth. So,
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, it took 10 minutes for you to start seeing the swing, and you're approaching 10 minutes from the ship stopped.
Okay.
So you hopefully are going to be settling down here in a second.
Well, I've got a little something in sonar, and then no more off in the distance over there.
Yep.
So I'm trying to come down and push out towards that a little bit, see what we've got.
Coming down.
Yeah. Do you have anything in serial sonar yet?
Nothing.
That would imply something off the distance. What's
No.
this?
I think that's you.
You see that ridge?
I'll hold
Possible ridge.
still.
Yeah, let's say where you are. I'll hold depth here.
That's the same distance from me to you, though.
Okay. All right.
So-
Yeah. So that this little line is just maybe a noise or something.
We were seeing something similar to that yesterday when we were on that deep sandy slope
All right.
that was confusing us.
All right. So it might just be some. All right. We can continue down then. I'm getting less and less return as I continue. So let's drop slow.
Coming down slow.
I'm at both 20. I'm gonna chill out for a minute. You keep coming.
Yeah.
Still got altitude of 20. The only thing on sonar is off to my right now.
Attention all hands. All testing of the general alarm.
Cut up. I'll push again.
Further alarm. Please heed all further alarm.
Can come down with me.
Bill, I thought that was a great explanation.
Drop till you got about 20,
And
I'd say.
I think
Okay.
that one of the things I heard you say right at the beginning is
And you're
we're not
swinging,
entirely
so
sure.
you're gonna gain a little
we
depth
think
anyways.
That,
but
we may see them at a point source, we may see them along the linear chain,
I think we're
and we really don't know.
far enough to the end of our swing at this point that
Yeah, you
All
cannot
right,
have
yeah,
to
I'm
just
getting a lot
imagine
off to
what
the
they
right.
look like as they were forming by looking at the finished product.
Look out that way and push.
We always learn a lot when we see the
There's the
process
bottom.
in action. 'Cause if you don't, then you just have to imagine
There it is.
how it works.
Okay, so but this is the right way? I'm facing south and I've
Yep,
got
that's more.
return.
That should be about right.
This is about, and I'm right at.
I'm guessing you guys are
right?
actually
So are we basically
just a little
here?
bit off the side.
We're here. We're gonna finish swinging and settling and everything, but we're here. So
Great.
this is waypoint 3 and the beginnings of setting up to climb up waypoint 3.
Okay. All right. So
Notice I'm careful with my words.
I did. I heard that. So shore-based scientists, we've made it into the saddle. So we're basically kind of set down between
We got strong returns on
between
a good
Pillow Mound 2 and Pillow
180
Mound 3.
degrees on Sirius. So
We
Okay.
are looking at, again, some
Copy that.
So you're gonna
unsurprisingly
swing
beautiful pillow
past me,
lavas.
behind me, and
And
you're
they're
gonna
just
turn
going to
right
need to
as you
take a little bit
swing.
of time to set up.
Okay.
So
Face the hill.
I'll hang out here. And
Once they're done setting up, we'll
You don't
ask
seem to
how
be
much
swinging
time we
much
have
anymore,
still
do
left
you?
on bottom.
no,
And
he's
we can
Dave went
decide
out.
whether we want to try to
Seems
make a
to be
run
good.
up the slope
okay.
or
Well,
whether
I
we
can
want to
sidle
sample
right
here
into your view.
or what we'd like to do. Is that okay?
Turning right.
Watch lead. Were you talking to us? I didn't.
No, I
listening.
was talking to you guys.
Okay,
I
good.
think we would like to get a sample no matter what. So probably as soon as you see something that looks sampleable, let's go for it.
Okay.
Wow, look at all this.
So pilots, once we have a chance to sort of settle down,
Yeah.
if we can grab a sample here, which looks like it might be kind of difficult, we may want to do so because we want to make sure we take one more sample before we have to leave.
All right. See these like
The
little
long stringy ones,
long
right?
stringies?
Yep.
Are we allowed to pluck those
You
off?
are absolutely allowed to pluck those, and that's actually one of our first samples. Looks pretty much like that,
Okay.
and we think those are the most likely
Yeah, I
ones
was
you can
just
get.
gonna say,
Coming up
this
a little
looks
bit.
lot
Yeah, thanks.
Like,
I was just gonna
the
say.
very beginning of the dive.
Yep.
In
Just
our
a touch.
first sample where
Let's
there were all
see.
those very glassy
Before we set up for sampling or anything, let's see how we're doing on our swing.
kind of buds on the
Just,
floor.
Yep,
without.
I agree.
Once you're done coming up, mark this line and see how much it moves in your sonar there.
Okay.
And mentally mark it, or you can.
I think that return just on the 20 ring is probably you, and that's the wall you're looking at.
Yeah. But this line, I just mean the line.
Yep.
Yeah. See, it's pretty consistent at this point, right?
Yeah, I think Sirius is. Well,
All right, shift's been stopped 12 minutes.
Okay.
it's possible we have more swing left, but it's going to be moving slow.
Okay. We're gonna see.
You've got a nice little nest of pings now. I think
That's
you're.
true.
I think you're settled.
Okay.
Okay. You're feeling settled.
I'm comfortable, yeah.
All right. Well, then we'll see what we can get here for. I'm gonna lock in my auto depths somewhere useful.
So they went after one of these little pillow toes earlier today. I mean, they had to cradle it because as soon as they touched it with the jaw, it broke and fell.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're that
really glassy.
They're that fragile.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, and then what? We're putting it in the bio boxes or something?
So,
We have one in the port
inner
yeah.
bio box.
Okay. All right. Well,
So there's one in sort of the bottom, middle bottom left. This whole part that looks like an octopus.
yeah.
That is just sort of sticking out. That might be a good candidate.
The laser's on it, or the one
No,
out
they're
to the
the
left?
one to the left.
Okay.
But that's just my personal feeling. If there's something else that looks better for you, perhaps that thing that's right in front of us, any of those would be great.
No, I'll try for
Look
any
at
of
this.
I'll try
This is
for
so
anything.
weird. Look at it sticking out.
This is very funky looking guy, isn't it?
There was a shrimp. I missed the shrimp.
Or a polychaete.
Wow. This would be absolutely perfect for sampling because, look, we have lots and lots of opportunities. In case one of them falls, you can just pluck another.
Okay. If you say so. Then that sounds like a good... Uh-oh, Auto XY is not holding. Oh, no, don't go that way. That's not where I want you. Let's do an auto heading. There. Drop it.
I wish we could see this from the other side because these guys are like totally sticking out in the middle of the water. Like they're not. It's like they weren't even trying to go downhill.
All right. situating.
Yeah, I don't know how or why these things form.
Yeah, it's
really hard to envision.
Where are you going?
It's
Oh,
weird,
okay.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's totally weird. I mean, they're so skinny, they're like fingers, and they go every which way. And how does that happen?
I don't know. They're like defying gravity. So ROV pilots, you got to know right now, the geologists are all having a field day.
Well,
Patty
that's-
Fryer is mentioning the weird little pointy curly one that's coming off to the right.
Oh yeah, going uphill.
Yeah. And there is a shrimp that just keeps wandering around in our camera.
Probably keep-
Sort of zips back and forth. We were only looking at the rock. We didn't care
Man,
about
the way
shrimp.
the way they're sticking out, I almost could just get the rock box underneath and tap it and let it fall in.
This would probably be a lot better in a bio box than
Oh, okay,
in
yeah.
the rock box because
That's-
it probably
that's
wouldn't
right.
survive the trip.
I just heard. I was just informed of that, and I forgot already.
We do have a larger sample in the port rock box, but the first glassy one that we picked we thought would be better in the bio box.
Okay. Well, we're gonna sit here for 1 second and see if my autos hold, and if they do, then we are in luck.
Great.
So the vehicle, in case you're curious, is flying itself right now, not touching anything, and it's doing all it can to stay in the set point I gave it. So notice it's wiggling around a little within its boundaries, but hopefully it stays at or near that set point. Does seem to be wandering a little bit, doesn't it? All right, you want to spin up hydraulics for me, Nav?
Spun up.
Or co-pilot?
Ready to
Thanks.
go.
Thanks. Wow, these are not settling in at all, are they?
So pilot.
Oh, I lost my altitude lock.
Oh, I love this. This is great.
Go ahead.
Is it possible to put this into the starboard bio boxes because we've already got one of these in the port inner,
And you don't
we want
wanna
to make sure
confuse them.
that they get confused.
I understand. Yeah, I'm just having trouble. So
Are you just having holding station?
yeah, so the vehicle uses the Doppler velocity log on the bottom, which you don't have to know what that is, but basically it looks at the bottom, figures out what the contours are, and uses those irregularities and the contours to hold position. And in my current position, as soon as I back a little bit away from the wall, it loses what's called bottom lock.
Mm-hmm.
And so this just might be a little bit steep of a wall to hold position. I'm going to try to get in a little closer, but as you can see,
If not, could we? I mean,
Can
could
be
we
s-
drop down a little bit and look for another piece if this will work?
we can drop down towards the bottom, maybe a little. We can go up, see if we can. I mean, we could try to drop back down towards where the bottom of this is, if that's what you're.
Well, I
think
mean, I
that's
think
what
we
you're saying.
should try to collect here, but
Okay. So the fear is if I'm have the arm out and Auto XY does something weird, I may break things.
break the arm or break the rock.
Break the rocks.
Then we're fine.
Okay. So you said it.
Hey, Deb, I've got an idea.
Oh, hang on. Our Bill
I'm
has an
looking
idea.
at camera 2, and there's a basket on the right side. Could the ROV basically put one of those fingers in that basket without even using the arm, just flying the vehicle?
And then we could transfer it later.
I did suggest.
Yeah, you did
I
suggest
did
that.
suggest that. That is. amongst the
It would
options.
probably survive in there.
So, Jeff, do you think that's a possibility?
I think it's a possibility. Can give it a try.
Yeah, let's give
We
it a
need
try.
to turn the craft on. All right. Since you have hydraulics spun up, I'm going to back up here. Why don't you go ahead and draw out a touch
I'm
for
totally
me?
digging this weird morphology.
Retracting pins.
And, yeah, retract both. Yep. And we just want to
Drawer open.
draw out and get the rock box extended.
So
out.
science age, we've come down some in depth, so our bottom time has shrunk. We now have about 30 minutes on
Yeah,
bottom
good.
remaining at this depth.
Just go full out.
Oh, okay.
Or actually halfway. How about that?
I like
That's
it. Yeah.
A little support.
Yeah.
That's good. And then could you get my mini Zeus on and get it lined up on the rock box?
Left.
Or on the right monitor?
Right monitor.
Yeah. Okay, and get it lined up there.
So, Scott France, who's one of our biologists, see, there's still two on the line, actually, said that he might
Happy
buy
with
this
that
if
or
it
what?
were a sculpture.
That's okay.
Scott, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. So we're going to try to drop in depth here a little bit. I'm going to tilt up
There
my
might be a
camera.
bidding war, though.
Yeah,
you bring
I think
my,
we'd all be fighting over it.
Rock box in a little bit. Just a touch. Just so I can see the edge of it on the HD for lining it up.
Starboard wing.
Yep.
Inboard. Tell me when.
When. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to use that and the mini Zeus. Let's try to line this up. See if we can't just bump a little off into this box.
Your starboard nip also has a pretty good view at it.
Thanks. Yeah, I see that. Okay.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh.
All right, so we're trying to move that box into place.
I like this.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay, all right, go up. Up a little.
What's this move?
Yes!
There you go.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
That was
All right, we
highly
got it.
effective.
Now, the question I have for you pilots is it better if we try to stow that somewhere else?
That's pretty big.
That's a pretty big guy. I don't
Can we
know.
get him into the port rock box? Like, just so that he's protected by the
Do you
the lid, or
wanna-
do you think he'll into the port rock box? Like, just so that he's protected by the
Do you
the lid, or
wanna-
do you think he'll be okay on the way up?
Do you want to mess with something so perfect? I don't know.
Okay, if you think it's okay, we'll leave it there.
We could nudge it further into the box.
That might be a good
might
idea.
be safer.
Yeah.
But I think that now that it's in there, we're pretty much set.
Okay, great.
So how was that? Was
So
that all right?
we just picked up a fairly long piece of that extruded
I like
pillow
that. What's
basalt.
that move called?
The
Nobody draw in?
little tiny squiggly
Yeah, you can
arm.
go ahead. Don't draw in
sort
yet.
of
No.
hanging-
Because
hanging
that
halfway
edge
out of
might
the
hit
starboard
the
box right now.
bumper there. So I'm going to get the manipulator around and push it the rest of the way in before.
I think.
We're still spun up?
Copy
Ooh.
that.
See?
That was great.
That's what I
Really
was
well
worried
done.
about Auto XY doing. See that?
You guys are getting
runoff in a
praise
random
from
direction?
the ship,
Yeah.
shore-based science, as well as the ship-based
That's what
science.
bad altitude lock does to you. So we're just gonna.
Give you your mini back.
I'm gonna get away from the wall.
This is a gorgeous, gorgeous sample. I'm super
Leave
excited
it
about
in
it.
auto depth and auto heading. I seem to be floating backwards.
Science, is that the second sample or third
That
sample?
is the third sample. We
Just-
unfortunately missed the collection. We forgot to press the button for the second sample.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So hydraulic's still up, right?
Copy that.
All
So
right.
I'd say for the rest of the time you have, just head up slope, and we'll see what we see.
My drawer
as we
is
get
out
to
a
the
little
top
bit.
of this
Thanks.
third
Yeah.
mound.
That's, I'm not gonna push on a drawer, just on the
Excellent.
glass.
Copy.
And hopefully it doesn't break. Although it didn't really break the first time it fell, so I don't suspect it'll break the second time. We're just gonna nudge it in here.
Whee!
Carefully, not to break it. There. All right.
All right. Did you see all the glass just fly off that thing?
Yeah, I did see that, but it wasn't.
That's okay. I
it was
think,
just little flakes, I think.
I think there's
it's
more
still
of it
safe.
to be used. Yep.
So, okay.
So all we'd like to do for whatever
I'm gonna
time we
draw
have
in.
remaining is just drive up the slope that's sort of to the south, like what,